for you shortly on the F800, just change up the paddock, generally get in the paddock at least once or twice a week just to practice my low speed handling. Bit of a greasy day here, so not starting off too fast, but just warming up, just some techniques. Make sure you stood up on the pegs, keep your weight down as low as you possibly can. And I'm just testing some of the ESA settings on the suspension and also just having a bit of a mess around. You probably see ahead now, there's a bit of a bank coming up, so I'm just up on the pegs. Second gear, keeping the revs up, just using the clutch to keep control of the bike, speed of the bike, stop it from stalling. Bit of a slippy day, the back end's all over the place, bit difficult to tell on the paddock actually, but it's a little bit more difficult than what it looks. So I'm just having a run around some mounds that I've put in, over a few small of them, and later on in the video I'll do a few jumps. Really pleased with the bike, the F800, it's a good all-rounder, big heavy lump, but the more you practice on it, the more you keep your balance in check, the easier it is to ride off-road. Several things for it, look where you want to go. It's going over a bit of a bumpy bit here now, and lining myself up for a little bit of a run that I've put in. Really gives the suspension a workout, and for me it's not about speed, it's about keeping the bike balanced, keeping it upright. Got my feet on the pegs, keep my legs really tight on the bike, top end of the body I keep really loose. On the handlebars, let the handlebars move around all over the place. Obviously you need to give them a little bit of a nudge out on the end to sort of keep you in the direction you want to go, but the secret of it is keep them nice and slack. Don't try and fight the bike. Bit of a drift here. Let the mount counter steer when you're drifting. Don't try and fight it, otherwise you'll end up the back end running away on you. So I'm just adjusting the suspension now, sports mode. Try normal mode and also the comfort mode, and to be honest, none of them made any real difference in this. I've got the preload set about half on the bike, keep it quite stiff, just mainly for going over the banks and jumping off stuff. Oh, just had a stall there. Good practice as well actually, if you can try and keep the bike ruling when you stall your bike. I didn't on this occasion, but the more you practice, the better you get, the less chance you've got of dropping it. A couple of jumps here, just warming up. You see my speed just increase a little bit as I've warmed up, and you generally find the more momentum you've got on the bike, the more stable it is. It's a real greasy day here, it's difficult to tell, but the tyres I'm running are on the front. I've got a Moto Z mountain hybrid run on 10 psi, and I've got the tubeless system on the front of the bike, which works really well. On the back I've got a Dunlop 606, really good tyre that acts like a tractor in this sort of mud, and I'm running that at 15 with a tube. Really effective tyres. Read a lot on the internet about 50-50 combination tyres. I've done a tyre review, but in my view, if you're running in this type of terrain, you just got to use full-on knobblers, otherwise you're going to find it really difficult to maintain traction. 9 times out of 10, that's one of the reasons why you lose control out of your bike. Well, quite impressed with it. Bit of a bumpy bit coming up here. If you just watch my hands on the handlebars, nice and slack, look at those bars moving, not interfering with the bike at all, just let the bike find its direction, keep your throttle up, use your clutch to control your bike speed. I'm up on the pegs all the time as well, if you notice. Very rarely do I sit down on the seat in this type of terrain. Bit of a drift there. can't really see it on this video, but the back end sliding around all over the place. But the secret of it is just let the handlebars move to where they want to go. Nice and slack on the bars.
All of these bikes, the big heavy lumps for me. Just got to be out practicing on them all the time.
Again, you notice I kept the bike moving. One of the reasons why I stalled the bike there is I'm just letting the throttle drop too low. Got to keep those revs up. Just use the clutch for control. Bit of a jump there, you can see. I've got the front suspension. I changed those out for the Hyper Pro ones, just the standard ones. Much better than the standard BMW front fork springs, and the rear suspension is just as BMW supplied the bike. Also have a steering stabler on this bike, which was a great addition for just stiffening up the bars a little bit, letting the bars return to central when the handlebars are wobbling around all over the space, especially in sand.
I like the old one tyre. It's good. I can track the tyre really. Terrible on the road, but in the mud, it holds up well. Listen to that traction on the bike. There's a bit more control of the bike.
Again, another bit of a jump. Bit of a drift. When you're drifting the bike as well, it's really important to let the handlebars go where they want to go. And if you try and fight them and turn them in the direction of where you're actually turning, you'll end up with your back end coming around on you really quick. Which generally results in you dropping the bike. Yeah, I'm generally running second gear. I've changed the front sprocket from a 16 to a 15. I find I have much more control over the bike running that 15, and it allows you to use second gear much more, which is a better gear, more torque than what you've got in first.
Get out of first gear. Isn't much good. Second gear, get a bit more torque.
Approaching things a little bit quicker now than what I was at the start of the video, and the bike is naturally more stable for it. 9 times out of 10, a lot of the times when people drop the bikes off-road or driving stuff like this is because they're going too slow. Bit of a jump again, just a bit of a recap. So I've stood up, foot on the pegs, legs nice and tight on the bike, top of my body nice and loose, let the handlebars do all the work. You see when I'm going over some of the bumpier terrain, the bars are moving around, and that's good. That's what the bike does to stabilise itself. Don't try and fight it.
Especially when you're going slow. I mean,
you see through here now the bike handlebars are dancing around a little bit, but I'm still maintaining my forward direction. I'm roughly going where I want to go.
But then you've still got to keep control of the bike to maintain a bit of direction in terms of where you want to go.
Bit of a drift again.
Bit of a balance really. I don't think you can practice enough on these big bikes.
Yeah, I'm just saying that I don't think you can practice enough on these big bikes.
Really.
Anyone can find down a road at 100k on the gravel, and to me that's not really practicing your skill set. You really need to get in this type of terrain, low speed, all about balance, up on the pegs, get some confidence on the bike, keep your throttle up, keep those revs set. Generally I'm at 2,500-3,000 revs, as you can see, and I'm just constantly working the clutch for the speed, and that way it helps to prevent stall the bike.
Stabilizer on as well. I don't know if you can see there, most of the rally cover version 3 Williams mixed gear.
really difficult to see on this video, but it's so slippy, it's incredible, like wet grass and mud. And as I said earlier on, there's only one set of tyres for this type of terrain, and that's the mud tyres. Anything other than that, you're going to find it really difficult to keep control of the bike.
Just this kind of terrain, you need always on it, full stop, really. That's a bit of a compromise on the road, but it just depends what you want to do.
Stalled again. Just not having enough throttle, that's all. Just poor control on the throttle there, that's the only reason for it.
I think the other thing about practicing with these bikes as well, I've dropped mine quite a few times, I'm over it now, you know, when I drop it, it's so wrong, but I've also found now that actually, even when I stall the bike and get into a situation where I usually would drop it, I'm actually getting better control even when it stops.
Yeah, I was just saying there, it is all about balance, and you can't practice enough really with these bigger bikes. Generally, I've had a lot of smaller bikes like DRZ400, KLR 250. You can get a lot away with other things in those bikes, a lot of bad habits. With these big bikes you can't. It's all about keeping that weight on the pegs. Practice, practice, practice. Because there's no forgiving with these bikes. Once they start to go over, unless you're built like Arnold Schwarzenegger, you can't stop them. You just generally end up lead on the floor.
Yeah, the tip as well, you know, you hear everyone say it.
Yeah, it's a tip there with the riding as well. You hear it all over the place. Look where you want to go, no true was saying. Just focus well ahead.
Don't try and battle the bike.
And if your bike does lose some sort of direction, stability ahead, and it's not quite going where you want it to go, but it's still upright and it's stable, as long as you've got the space, let the bike do what it wants to do. Don't try and wrestle with it on the handlebars. 9 times out of 10, you end up putting the bike out of control.
It's probably, you know, a bit on the heavy side, I suppose, but I like the challenge, to be honest. I like the lighter bikes like the DRZ400 and KLR 250. The good one with these really, these bikes here, take some thinking.
Yeah, just as I was saying there on the mic,
it's a different skill level, really.
It's a real challenge with these big bikes off-road. It takes a lot of thinking about what you're doing, thinking ahead, and also a lot of practice.
Smaller bikes, you probably get away with a lot more bad riding on these bikes. If you're not focused on what you're doing, you've not got a bit of a skill, but if you're up on it, you're off.
One of the other things I've done actually here with the centre stand is a tie wrap it up when I'm off-roading. It's really annoying hearing it clattering all over the place, and generally when you're over this type of terrain it does. You see the bike comfortably sort of crawls over things, not too much effort for it.
Handling without having to ride. As a matter of fact, I enjoy doing this more than going on big rides now. I don't know why, I just do it. It's a bit more tricky.
It's always difficult to tell with these GoPro cameras. It really does play the terrain down quite a lot, but you'd be surprised how bumpy this is. It's quite challenging. You see the bike dancing around the handlebars, moving from left to right. I'm nice and slack on the bike, not fighting with him, letting the bike just find its natural state of where it wants to be. Just keep those revs up and use your clutch to adjust your speed, and then it just generally crawls where it wants to.